Good morning, everyone. Today is Black Friday, November 28th, and today we will cover YieldBoost and the various funds that they have. They did launch two more. So we'll check them out and then we'll see, what their latest yields are, what their holdings are, and maybe check out some house money, this, that, and the other thing. All right. So before that, obviously, we'll do a quick Bitcoin check. It is Friday. The markets are open. Half day though. Markets are open from 9:30 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Bitcoin is at 91,000. It hit 90. No, yeah, just hit 91. So, but not bad, man. Not bad. Yeah. Look at a week out, man. It's been a long week from 82 to 91. So any Bitcoin related funds should be pretty nice to you today, you would think. But yeah, time will tell. We'll see how this goes. All right. So before we get into it, obviously we're on the Granite Shares website. If we go to YieldBoost, there's actually a little button here, YieldBoost distributions. Everyone's distribution schedule is a little screwed up this week because obviously the holiday. So I just want to show their schedule. You can see here, let's see, scroll. X date is today, actually. So you should see the drop in X date today. And then payment date, though, will be Monday's the 1st. So I guess the payment date will be the Tuesday. All right. Sound good? Okay. Now, what about the new funds? Well, if we go to YieldBoost now, it'll say new. QBI is new. RGYY is new. So again, something interesting. Look at the launch date of these funds, right? So if you go to fund details and you go to here, where is it? November 25th is the inception date, November 25th, 2025. And then you scroll up here. Look at this. Look at this. They got a distribution already. They freaking announced the distribution on the launch date. That's what it looks like, right? I think distribution date, latest distribution date. I don't know when they announced it, but I think it was the same date that they launched, which this is different. This is not, they're kind of doing their own thing when it comes to this. They're like, we'll make it up later, right? Kind of that thing. Kind of like if you bought it, congrats, you get a distro already. So I don't know. Both of the funds kind of did the same thing. So I did know they did that on another fund, but not on the launch date. But I thought this was kind of interesting if anyone cares. Okay, so now let's get to the file. Let's do the proper zoomage so everyone can see, because we are now on a laptop. We have upgraded since the phone from way back in the day. We're big boys almost. We don't have microphones or anything, but we have a laptop. That's more, a lot more than I used to be able to say. So I don't know how it able to do this on the phone, but honestly, I'm done. The phone days are over unless it's desperation. But anyway, so here's all the funds now. So I added the two at the bottom. So you can see they have 20 funds. Obviously they've come a long way. So they're probably, again, everyone's saying, where's the fund of funds? They're probably coming out soon, but again, it seems like they launch two on the 18th, two on the 25th, two on the 4th, two on the 21st of October, two on September 30th, two on September 23rd, two on September 16th, and before that it was like here and there. But I mean, so two is the number, so they may just launch another two, and then another two, then another two. Maybe they'll wait to do the fund of funds till they have like maybe their solid base of funds. But yeah. All right. So like I said, what do we want to see their underlying. So QBTX, it's long QBTX daily ETF. All right. So Trader looks like is the company name that has that double leverage fund. And then RGTX Defiance has that double leverage fund. So launch price, I just put 25. Let's see what the current price is actually. 24.50. Yeah. So again, all their funds launch around 25 bucks. So nothing new there. All right, now we're going to look at the daily compare. This is where we compare their underlyings against, the actual fund. Because if you don't know, and I always kind of skip over this, but if you don't know how the fund works, I mean, basically, they sell puts, right? They sell puts on a weekly basis, maybe even more frequently, by the way, but we'll get into that. But yeah, they sell puts to earn premium, and they pay you out that premium on a weekly basis. It's pretty simple, right? But it's not just any put. They sell puts on double leverage plays to capitalize on the insane volatility that a double leverage play will have. But it doesn't end there, because when you sell a put, you're exposing yourself to the downside for sure, right? Because if that stock or whatever underlying goes down, you got to cover. You got to cover for that, bro. But don't worry. What else do? They buy a puts. All right. So if you go to the holdings, well, actually, I don't see any listed, but they did download. But if you go to the holdings of any of these funds, you'll see they also buy puts. All right, which is pretty good, because why? Well, because you need downside protection sometimes, and that's what they get for you. So is it called portfolio now? Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. We'll get into the holdings at the end, but yeah. So basically, they pay us a distribution based on the premium that they earn from selling puts, but at the same time, they take some of that premium, they buy a put for the downside protection in case this double leverage underlying does tank. And as you've seen over the past, quite a few weeks now, that has come in handy, because you don't want to see your fund dropping massively. So what are these funds? Who are these funds good for? People who want income, right? People who don't care about the upside being capped, right? Because there is limited upside, and people who want to protect the downside. All right. So if you're looking at some massive capital appreciation, right, these are not the funds for you. If you're looking for income and protection on the downside, these may be a good fit for you. But again, there's so many options nowadays, literally options, quote unquote, right? So, just trying to explain what they do. All right. So now you could see these in live play over the week. There's only going to be 4 days, because there's 4 days, during the week, because obviously the market was closed on the Thursday, which is kind of good, because the track record of Thursdays lately have been red and red and red and red and red and red. So we didn't even give Thursday a chance, because we never opened the market. So would it have been red? Probably. So good thing we kept it close. But anyway, let's get to it. So you could see down 2.28% on NVDL. Was that last Friday probably? And then NVYY, they went down, but only 2.02. But then look, Monday, pop 4%. So again, we're going to be limited on that upside. We captured 1.26. But then here we go. A big down day, Tuesday. What the hell, right? Down 5.19%. This is probably the meta news day, right? NVYY, they went down too, but not as much, about half, less than half. They went down 2.26%. So noise, right? Noise. But then again, here we have an update, which was what? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, 2.54%. NVYY captured 1.47. So not terrible. But overall, again, so you get the gist by looking at this. Koi has been having a rough go. Let's see how they did. Friday, CONL, the double leverage fund of Coin, they went up 1.89. COYY for some reason went down 0.48%. But I always say the Friday's a little screwy, because that's when they start to close out positions and then open new ones. And then here's a day where you see, when we say capped on the upside, this is proving it, right? So obviously you could see CONL, double leverage fund. It can go up crazy. It can go down crazy. On Monday, it went up crazy. It went up 12.5%. And COYY only captured 3.32%. So yeah, that kind of hurts. And then you have the day after. The day after it went down, but only down 1.39%, and COYY went down 0.3. And then the Wednesday it went up 8 points. Big days for coin, obviously. Holy crapola. CONL is obviously doing 2 times whatever coin does. So coin obviously went up 4% on the Wednesday. CONL went up 8.4. And COYY, hey, captured more than I would think on that. They captured 3%. So, you know, again, it is what it is. You're going to be limited on it upside, but the goal is to pay income and protect your downside. Essentially, stay capital flat. Imagine that. Imagine a fund that stays capital flat and pays you 100% distribution. Yeah, good luck. But hey, maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a fighting chance. All right, let's look at TSLL. Again, Tesla is nuts. TSLL is obviously nuts. They went down 2.16% on the Friday. TSYY went down 1.82, not bad. Big Monday for TSLL. They went up 13.35. TSYY was able to capture 4.5. That's actually not terrible. But then here on the Tuesday, a little flat, kind of flat day. They went up 0.86%. TSYY captured 0.66. Again, you know, but that's a small, you know, that's not a big deal. Only 0.86 versus 0.66. It's this, like, that's a big deal. Went up 3.34. Again, we only captured 0.66 again. So again, Tesla swings are nuts. So if you're in it for the growth, you get it. You get it. All right, BitX, how about Friday? How'd they do? They went down 4.26%. XBitty, again, protects the downside. So they only went down 1.17%. Monday, obviously, was a green day for lots of people. BitX went up 10.39%. XBitty only captured 2.34%. So that was a rough day in the office. But then we got a drop right after, down 5.5%. XBitty only went down 1.2. So again, protect the downside, cap upside. Protect the downside, you're capped on the upside. Simple, right? Simple math. BitX on the Wednesday went up 5.8. XBitty captured 2.48. All right, let's look at the indexes now. We got triple leverage index. QQQ obviously is like the NASDAQ ETF, right? But TQQQ, triple leverage QQQ. All right, danger. Get on the floor. All right. So what do we got here? Friday, they went up 2.22%. What the hell? What the hell? What in tarnation? But again, Fridays, I shouldn't even look at Fridays because, again, it's all screwy with the ins and the outs of the trades. I don't even know. I can't explain what's going on. But next time we'll have, like I said, I want to have, I think it would be cool to have Will on for, as I cover the video, like maybe explain how some days are, you know, because I guess we for the most part, we probably all understand why. But like on this, I honestly don't understand why. But you have to see the whole breakdown of the trades probably, but I don't have that. All right, anyway, Monday, they went up 7.5%. And then TQQY, they only captured 2.17. So again, is what it is. What about Tuesday? Tuesday, it went up again, went up 1.82%. TQQY went up 0.6. And then this is weird. Wednesday went up 2.6. We went down 0.12%. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there either. All right, again, back to another index, SPXL. What index is this? S&P 500. S&P 500 and triple leverage, of course. Again, all up days. So again, the struggle is going to be here. Let's check it out. Up 2.93%. How did we do here? YSPY went up 1.11. Okay. Up 4.37%. Captured 2%. Not bad. Up 2.7. Only captured 0.6. Again, we can only capture so much. And you could see as it continues to go up, unless they open new positions, we're going to get, you know, minimal upside. And that's what happened, unfortunately, on YSPY. But again, YSPY is holding pretty strong, right? It's paid out a lot of distribution so far. It's staying at $18. What's TQQY at? $16. Okay. So that's something, that's really what you need to keep an eye on. Is it holding the price strong based on what the underlying's doing? because ideally you just want to get the distro, but you want to maintain a reasonable capital level. Of course, you're never going to stay completely flat on capital. It's going to go down over time because of the massive distributions. But to what extent, right? You want it to stay strong. And we're getting to AMY in a second, AMYY. That's the strongest one I've seen so far. But let's look at AMZZ. You know, Amazon, pretty stable company. Double leveraged Amazon play here, up 3.5%. We went down 0.24, but again, it's a Friday. Up 5% on the Monday. We only captured 1.44, up 3%, captured 0.76. Here's a down day, down 0.45%. We stayed flat. So again, you get the gist here. Now here again, their best performing fund, I think by far, AMDL. They went down 2.2% on the Friday, and then here's AMY going up 0.3. Here's the big Monday update for everyone. It seems up 11%. AMYY captured only 1.9%, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But again, here's the big down day. All right, a big drop, 8.4%. Right, that could be damaging to most funds. But again, when you buy a protective put, boom, done, protected. We only went down 1.5%, so that's good, right? However, you saw up here, capped on the upside, but protected on the downside. All right, risk versus reward. What do you want to do? What, you know, is this the fund for you? All right. Anyway, how about Wednesday? They went up damn. They went back up 7.7%, and here we are, only capturing 2.38. But it is what it is. All right. Oh no, MSTR fund. What are we going to do with these funds? You know, MSTX on the Friday, they went down about 8%. Oh man, not bad. They only went down, or MITI. What are we calling this? MITI? You're so MITI. You're so MITI. They went down 0.5%. All right. On the Monday, almost a 10% gain, and we went down. What the hell? Again, maybe they made some trade. Again, I don't know. I cannot explain what happened that day, but it's an MSTR fund, so these funds are nuts. All right. What about the Tuesday? Tuesday went down 7.8. MITI went down 1.5. Again, that's not bad. That's protection. But here's a pretty big update, up 4.1. They captured 2.1. Okay, we can live with that. All right, PTIR, double leverage Palantir, down 1, down 0.2, up 9.5, up 1.9, up 1.5, up 0.5, up 2.5, and then up 0.5. All right, I know I'm going a little faster now, but there are so many funds now, so you got to do what you got to do. Robinhood fund, double leverage Robinhood. Let's check it out. Up 2.4. Again, confusion here, down 1.4. Assuming X date is under the proper line. Who the hell knows there either, right? Here's a big Monday, up 14%, up 3, up 0.6, up 0.3, up 20. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we know about this. Robinhood had a big day the other day. They went up 22%, and here we are only capturing 1. So again, there's only so much because they only go up when, you know, because they can collect the full premium that they earn on the option. That's it. Because they don't own the underlying. There's no synthetic here. So again, that's why they're limited. All right, let's keep going. We are, wow, 506 people between YouTube and X on Black Friday. Everyone's off work, probably, waiting for the market to open, get their trade-ins. Yeah. All right, so what do we do? What do we say? SMCX on the Friday, they went up 3.7. FMYY went down 0.2. All right, Monday, they went up 6.9, and then we captured 1.6 of that. Here's the down day, down 5. Okay, only down 1. Up 1.69. Hey, not bad, up 1.3. We'll take what we can get. You know, the smaller up days are more manageable, but it's when you get these big up days, it's like, okay, we just limited. All right, but anyway, BabX, how you doing? Well, they went down 0.4. BBYY went up. Wow, this is weird, but it's weird in a good way, of course. They went up 1.1. All right, here's the Monday. Oh boy, up 10.2%. BBYY went up 2.8. All right, we missed that on that upside, but here's a big drop 4.8. BBYY barely dropped. They dropped 0.2, and then we got the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. They went up 0.6. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a good capture. They went up 0.6 as well. 0.69 versus 0.61. Not that bad. All right, let's go to FBL. Up 1, up 1, up 6, up 1, up 7, up 0.5, down 0.9, down 0.09. All right, that's the Facebook fund. Sorry, again, I'm rushing, but too many funds. IONL up 3, down 0.3. What? Oh no, big Monday, up 24. We only captured almost 3% of that. And then up 1.1, captured 0.6, down 0.7, actually went up 0.47. Wow. Wow. Wowza. Here's the what is it? The MRAT. What the hell's the under? Oh my god. I'm brain fart here. Mara, right? Mara fund. Yeah, Mara. Oh my god, I can't think. All right, the double leverage Mara fund. They went down 3.7. Oh, kind of stayed flat there. May. All right, but again, big update on the Monday. They went up 23. We only captured 2. Down 0.8, down 0.8, up 0.4, down 1.2, up 1.09. So those days were good, but the big update was like, what the heck? All right, now Nugget. I'm not a nugget. All right, they went up 1.5, and Noogie went up 1.4. Not bad, not bad. But again, you got that big Monday up 11.5. They captured 2.3, and then we got down 0.2, up 0.2. Oh boy, up 9.6. What a week for Nugget. But Nuggie only captured 0.3 of that, Chico. All right, what about Soxol? All right, Soxol up here went up 3 on the Friday, down 0.13. Oof. Up 13 on the Monday, almost captured 3, and then up 0.8, captured 0.3, and then up again. Wow, 8.3, captured 1.7. Wow, wowza, big updates there. All right, we're down to the last 2. These are brand new funds. QBY. See, this one's updated. This one's not. Whatever. But it's standing strong, 24 and 24. So we'll take it. You know, down 3, down only 1. So not a bad start for that one at least. I don't know why this price is not updating, but it is what it is. All right. Next tab over is distributions. We don't really go through this tab, but this is all formula based. And then we do capture or calculate the yield, which you'll see here. We're pulling the yields from, when we started really tracking it in detail. You can see NVYY kind of pays around 100. I got the averages down here, I think. So, you can see the overall averages. COYY averages 150% yield. I mean, that's crazy. You crazy, man. I love you, but you crazy. TSYY averages about 140%. I mean, these suckers are nuts. HOYY 142%. SMYY, oh my goodness. IOYY 150% about. MAA, oh my goodness. Oh wait, forgot to add these 2 degenerates. Let's see. They only had one distro. Averaging 134, averaging 140. Man, they know how to pick them. These are like, talk about YieldBoost. This is the definition of boost. All right. But oh boy, who's the winner though? MAAY is the winner this week with a 147% yield. Number 2, IOYY, 145% yield. And then we got RGYY, 140% yield. All right. Does that make sense, everyone? All right, we're getting more people live again. I like it. Maybe like I said, people off work. Hopefully we can again, if you just joined, we're talking about the Granite shares YieldBoost funds, who basically they're income funds. They pay a very high income, and they're able to do that through selling puts essentially. Which they don't own the underlying. They don't have a synthetic position that mimics the movement of the underlying. They just sell puts and they earn premium, and they are limited on the upside. But again, they also buy a put. They buy a put with a lower strike than the put strike that they sold at, so that if it does drop, there's only so much that they would lose on the downside. So they are limited downside, which is good. It's good in a way. It's good in many ways, actually. Especially in the recent markets, you're like, oh, thank you, sir. Now, okay, now we're going to look at the holdings. I'm not going to go through the holdings on every single fund because, anybody got time for that. But if you look at NVYY, check this out. All right. What is highlighted number one? Well, in blue, you'll see what's highlighted is what's expiring today, 11/28, Friday, right? It's half day, by the way. Market closes 1. But what else? We have the buys and the sells. Buys are green, sells are pink. Sells is where we get the premium. Buys is the downside protection. But what else? Well, this is what else. This is weird. This is unusual, but this is at the same time awesome. Again, we know that in the stock market, when you do options, there's very few funds that offer daily, daily expiration dates. So like on the SPY, you can trade daily options. You could do like 0 DTE or 1 DTE, right? You could do options that expire the same day you open the trade every day. But what is this? This is not SPY. This is NVDL. How do you have an expiration date of November 1st? So I'm trying to find this out. I'm trying to reach out to Granite because I'm wondering, obviously the Flex has more flexibility, quote unquote. So you could see by that, by the strike prices, they're able to choose pennies on the freaking dollar. They could choose a damn penny. You don't see that in the normal options chain unless they had a split or something. But you see that here. But now what we're seeing is, are they selling puts that expire in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days instead of doing the Friday? Maybe. Well, they are. It's right here, unless it's a typo. But I'm seeing it. I'm going with it, right? I'm going with it. I'm assuming they can do that. Again, I don't know nothing about the Flex options. I don't have, the chance to, take advantage of that. The Flex options chain, nor do I, I don't think I can handle another options chain. But regardless of that, they're doing it. So they're selling puts that expire on the Monday, $86. Okay. NVYY is at 83. So it's already down, but they have downside protection on the 12/1 at 77, which is not helping yet. But, we'll see how that goes. NVYY 12/3. Again, maybe these were 1 week when they opened it, right? Maybe they opened it on last Monday and then they choose, instead of choosing the Friday as the expiration, they chose the next Monday being a 7-day, DTE. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see the daily trade, so I don't know. All right. But again, this is just something different that I've noticed. I don't remember seeing this last week, unless I was like brain dead. You never know. Hey, you never know. New York lottery. Hey, you never know. All right, so they're selling puts here, $83. How you doing? At the money. Oh, we're okay. All right. So you see, there's some, and then what's expiring today? $82. $82, bro. And we're at 83. So that one's all right. No worries there. And of course, we didn't pull up stock analysis. So like again, if you want to pull up NVYY. Oh wow, they're down in the no, not NVYY, NVDL. Hello. NVDL is up 0.5%. Obviously, NVYY was down because it's ex-dividend date. So they're up. So the put that expires today should be okay. CONL and COYY. Again, more expiration dates of the Monday and the Wednesday. Okay, Monday, Wednesday expiration. And then, of course, you'll see 12/5, which will be the Friday eventually at some point. So, again, if these are funds that you keep an eye on, that you invest in, that you track, check out the holdings after today, right? Just see what it says. See if they added the 12/5s. And then you'll have the 12/1, you'll have the 12/3, and then you have the 12/5. So maybe they're not daily options, but maybe they're Monday, Wednesday, Friday availability on the Flex exchange. Again, which makes the Flex exchange awesome, right? There's a lot of benefits with that. So, all right. Anyway, what the heck are they doing here? They're selling the put. Strike price 17.25. Expires today. Where you at? Well, I'm well above that. So this thing is expiring. Worthless. See ya. They don't need the buy put. All right. They don't need the backup. They don't need the security guard. They don't need the butt buddy. Whatever we're calling them, they don't need them. But that's good. That's good. It's good. All right. Let's move on to the other suckers over here. There's a lot of suckers here. We got TSYY, a little less busy than usual. I feel like this one's always busier. Selling a put 1543. Again, you want, when you sell a put, you typically, you want the underlying to expire because we don't want to get signed on these. So you do want the underlying price, which is 1823, to be above the put price, right? Above it. But in the example of YieldBoost, I'm not going to say we want it that high above. In perfect world, you want it at like 1544, right? You want this at like 50, just above it. We don't want it at this high, right? Because then we're going to miss out on that upside, baby. We want it, just go up a little bit, just go up a little bit, and that's it, and that's it. And then, all right, and then for next week, what do they got? They got the 12-1, the Monday. Now we got to worry about Monday. All right, how we doing on the Monday? We got a 28. What the heck? Damn. Selling a put at the 28. Selling a put at the 28. Buying a put at the 20. What in Nation? Hold on a second. Let me go out 5 days. So yeah, they've been in this range. Is it pulling right? Oh, wait. TS. Oh, duh. TS. Oh, my God. They have another. They're trading TSLL and TSLR in the same freaking thing. Oh, my goodness. How you going to do that to me, YieldBoost? How you going to do that to me? Oh, man. Copy that. Put that down here. What is it? TSLR? TSLR. All right, yeah. So obviously that makes a little more sense. They're $29.48 fun. All right, $28. All right, good. You're scaring me there. All right, let's move on. XBD in the house. They're only trading BitX, the double leverage BitX. All right, so what are they doing? Selling puts at 28. What's BitX at? 31. Boom, boom, boom. It's fine. And then for next week, 31 and 31. Wait, what the heck? 11/26 expiration. So wait, they had a Wednesday expiration for this week already. I don't know why it's still on here, but hey, they looks like they did start it earlier in the week. So that's interesting to know. Thank you very much. All right, here's the index one. I love it. This is simple. All right, TQQQQQQQ. Selling a put at $47, 47.48. TQQQ is at $53. $53 is above that. So this is going to expire worthless. But obviously what they'll do is they'll close this, but at the same time, they'll probably just roll it, create a new position for next week, which may expire the Monday, it may expire the Wednesday, or maybe even the Friday. I don't know. You'd have to check tomorrow morning. I could check tomorrow if you remind me at the end of my probably do Roddy video tomorrow. All right, so yeah, so that's the update there. Let's move on. YSpy, same thing, just one trade, sold put, buy put, simple. $200, they're doing fine. 219. Again, this thing's gonna expire worthless, but again, you're gonna be limited on that upside. What the heck? Did you see that? Don't do it to me. Don't do it. All right, I'm gonna refresh. Where were we? YSpy. Yeah, we just passed it. I don't think it refreshed properly. No, it didn't. Yeah, sometimes Google Sheets is not nice, but whatever. But we saw we're good on that trade anyway. AZYY. Formula messing up. What are we at? We're at $28, $29. I think we're fine. Right, AMZZ, that's the double leverage Amazon fund. What are they trading at? They're at 31.87 in the pre-market. So they're above these. So these are essentially fine. AMYY, one of the better funds, again, always doing well, 14.14. I guess we could check the underlying. Again, we're not going to, like I said, I'm not going to go through every single one. We want to do some Q&A. Maybe at the end about YieldBoost, Granite shares, or whatever. They went up 2.77%. They're at 1631. These obviously are at 14, so these are going to essentially expire worthless. But again, they will roll it, so they'll pay pennies on the dollar. Wow, we are up to 918 people between YouTube and X. Thank you all for being here. And yes, I know most of you are from X, but you never chat. The X people, they just listen and they don't chat. So if you're on X right now, I'm telling you, type in the chat, type something, say hello. Hello, I'm alive. Hello, hello. I know YouTube people, they always chatting. They always chatting, but we want to make sure that X chat is working. So make sure you're there. All right, Mitty, how we doing? Yeah, Mitty got MSTU. What do we got here? MSTU, yeah, $1.18. This thing is doing a reverse split, by the way. But yeah, man, when's it happening? I don't know. Soon, I guess, probably December. But right now, we don't have to worry about that. So what do we got? We got a strike price of 113. They're at 118. Now this is what you want, just above, baby. So that's fine. Good, goody. All right. So let me. I need a sip of water. How about that? What's the numbers on YouTube, Grumpy? It seems like most people are from X. Which is crazy, man. It is crazy. All right, PLYY, how you doing? Well, all their trades expired today. They got a 22 and a 21, and they're sitting at 24. All right, so good. They're gonna win their trades. Hoi. Oh, they got a 12-3. All right, 12-3 Wednesday. Interesting, good. But whatever. What do they got for this week? They got. Wow, this is interesting. Wait, why does it say buy? This is negative. That's weird. All right. Well, this should say sell. All right. It's a 52 and a 54, and they're at 76. Oh, my God. Oh, well, we know what happened, with Robinhood. It flew to the moon. Nothing you could do there. SMYY. So what are you doing here? You're selling a freaking put for 15 bucks. Wow. Only 60? 60 on YouTube. So you're telling me there's 900 on X. Wow. Wowza. Crazy. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. What do we got here? Unless I'm getting spammed on X, imagine. All right, let's see here. 15 bucks. 15 bucks. All right, just above so far. So this put, again, should expire worthless. We should capture most of that upside. Again, depending on how it closes today, BBYY. Yeah, like I said, I'm not doing every fund, but same thing. Their trades all expire today. Same thing. Oh, we got a 12-1 on IOYY. So that's from Monday. Again, interesting that they added on some and not others. But it'll be if you check the holdings, if you guys remind me, I could probably post it on X. If you guys do own any of these and you do, just message me or something and I'll remind me and I'll post it, like some of the holdings, just to see what they're doing. So here's like Nuggy. They're doing the 12-3, which is the Wednesday expiration. So what does this mean? It just means they're going to be much more active now in their trading. They're going to do like, not 7 DTE essentially, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I like it though. I like it. It's a quick in and out trade. The more trades you could do, the more premium hopefully you can make if things work out. And here's a 12-1 on Soxel. Like Soxel is one you definitely want to do on a shorter term because Soxel can fly high. So what's good is if you do it like sooner than later, the expiration, you get to reset. Boom, we reset over. Boom, we reset over. Boom, we reset over. But again, we'll see in due time, like if that's a better option from what they've been doing. All right, now here's their new fund. Here they don't have anything that expires this week. They have a 12-1 expiration. All right. Now, what does that mean? It means it expires Monday. All right, 33 bucks. So today, technically, it doesn't matter as much. But we'll see. Same thing here. This is the new fund, RGYY, 12 on expiration, the Monday. Yeah. So again, they don't have to choose the Friday. Obviously, they normally would have, but since they can choose the Monday, it seems, then why not? Why not, broski? So again, we'll see how they do. They're selling the put at 80 bucks. What's RGTX at? 74. So 74 is obviously below here, and it's below the buy put. So the buy put is already protecting, on the downside. So, but we'll see how it ends up. We got today, which is half day, and we got Monday, of course. But wow, numbers still popping up on X. I got 1,116 people listening live on X. So yeah, thank you, X listeners, and of course, thank you to the YouTube listeners. They always keep the chat active, But before I get to the chat, let's look at the funds comparison, because we do, if we look at the total distributions paid from inception, we could do a sort, right? TSYY, longest lasting fund by far, right? Now they're out in December 24. So, they're almost like on their 1 year anniversary, and they've paid you back about 55% of the original launch price. They paid you back $13.63. Launch price 25. However, their fund did, the current price is at $6. So, take it for what it's worth. But that fund is it holding strong? Not as good as some of the others. If I sort by current price, we can see. All right, let's do 20 and up. So 20 and up, we have this many that are staying above 20. All right, we have Ply, NVYY, but what about the ones 20? How about above 21? So AMYY. SEMY, of course, the newer ones are going to be on this list. I don't know why this stupid thing always pops up, but how do I do? There you go. I fixed it. All right. So if I look here, AMYY, they've been around a while. So I always say they're one of the best performing funds of that group. Yeah, they're around since September, and they're still holding strong. They paid you back $513. And what price are they at? They're at 23 bucks. So not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. And they were even jumped all the way up to $26.53 at one point. So you got to love that. Look at this one. NVYY jumped to 28.30. Wow. So, and then Koi, wow. When they first launched, they looks like they jumped to 27.17. So good stuff there. I did adjust the 52-week high and 52-week low numbers. So, and this will show you how far from the low they are and how far from the high they are. So obviously, if they're further away from the high than the low, then maybe it's a discount. So QBTS, whatever the heck that got going on, they're very far. They're priced at what? 31 bucks. Their 52-week high, what? Something funky here. 506. Oh man. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's a little nuts. All right. But let's look at another one. Maybe this one, little IOYY. They're about even though. They're kind of in the mid. Let's take look at this thing. Oh my God. This I can't believe. MST, what is it? MST? Oh, no. Which fund do we? MSTU. Are you telling me MSTU hit 198? Like, for real? You can't be telling me that. Seriously. Let's pull up the 1 year. No. See, when did it reverse split? It reverse split. It did reverse split this year already, didn't it? I think it did. All right. So, yeah, I don't think Google Sheets accounts for reverse splits, which screws up these numbers. It doesn't help. All right, whatever. But yeah, you get the gist. I don't know. What are your thoughts on these funds? What's your favorite fund that is out? What underlying do you think works best in this type of strategy? Because that's what it is. It's a strategy, right? We always say, people say, hey, this fund stinks or that fund stinks. No, the fund, maybe the strategy stinks in your eyes, right? I don't know. There's a million different strategies. There's a million different funds now, all different strategies. Which is right for you? Okay, I'm done with the coverage. So we'll pull up the website with a cool ticker. I love this. I love that. I love that ticker. You know, it's like CNBC. But you guys got any questions on Granite shares or YieldBoost or kind of any of the underlyings? I know obviously that goes to the X people too. Yes, there's 1,098 of you now listening on X. So I appreciate that. And YouTube, of course. Hoo-wee. Okay, what do we got here? They're watching live from the Target. Oh my God. Do people still go out on Black Friday? I mean, everything's online now. Who the hell would want to deal with the crowds? To save $100 or something. Like, seriously. I'd pay an extra $100 to avoid people. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see. Brother sold out of Ulti. They're talking about Ulti. Question for the community: for those of you that invest in YieldBoost, what is your favorite YieldBoost fund? Or are any of you waiting for, you know, the fund of funds? Or do any of you do this strategy yourself, like sell puts on a daily or weekly basis and buy a put? Credit put spread, as they say, right? Bull credit spread. You know, they got all these cool names, but we just say sell put, buy put. See, at least Nikki answers me. Always appreciate her. Nikki owns NVYY. You know, that's one of the better performing ones for sure. You know, and we pull up, you know, I think I have a Granite shares watch list, right? So if we do that, YieldBoost. Yeah, so let's see any pre-market changes. NVYY is down. Yeah, they're all going to be down today because it's ex-dividend date, as we saw. So expect a big drop, at least by the amount of the distributions, plus or minus any movement in the underlying, of course. Wolf says, currently my best is TSYY. Mike says TSYY and NVYY. And then he throws in HOOW. Rod, I have several favorites. I am not waiting for a fund of funds. I just make my own. That's what I'm talking about, Grumpy. All right. It's nice to see you awake, by the way, Grumpy. TSYY is my only YieldBoost fund. Okay. Nikki laughing. For, you know, but no, you always answer my questions, and I appreciate that. A lot of you guys, you ignore me. Huh? It's all right. It's all right. Talk amongst yourselves. I like TSYY, NVYY, AMYY, and hooey. Whenever I see Pay the Piper, I'm just gonna assume it's a wrestling reference. The question to Pay the Piper is: do you watch wrestling? Do you still watch wrestling, or you just love the old school wrestling like me? I assume you want me to say, "Here comes the money. Here we go. Money, 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 money. Dollars, dollars." All right, let's see. Patiently waiting for the Granite shares fund of funds, says brother. Well, you know something, brother AB. All right, I own Koi, Tissy, Smee, and XBitty. I love saying XBitty. Thanks, I'm on a different sleeping schedule because I'm out of town. Oh, okay, and out of my element. Well, enjoy your vacation. I guess I'll put that in quotes. Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. All right, Jill McKee. Again, she's becoming a regular. Let's all welcome Jill, right? Welcome, Jill. TSYY, Y Spy, and XBitty. Ooh, look at you, XBitty. All right, so good morning to Pay the Piper, Grumpy says. Y Spy doing surprisingly well against the Spy, XDTE, and SDTY. Yeah, I could do a comparison if you guys want. Let's see. We could do ETFs. ETF comparison tool. What'd you say? Y Spy. versus SPY versus XDTE versus SDTY. All right, so we got 1 month. The 1 month, who the heck is winning? The green SDTY and XDTE in the 1 month. But when you go in the 3 month, again, this is total return. The 3 month YSPY is taking that. So that's probably what you mean, Steel. So if you go out, I don't know if all these are 6 months old. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That's impressive. That is super impressive. 23%. Next one down is 18. All right. Good work there. Nice point out. All right. All right. When is the best time to buy into YieldBoost funds? Seems they all drop. When is the best time? Well, that's up to you. But it doesn't, you know, if you're saying it seems they all drop, it doesn't seem like you're too happy about the funds. So maybe rethink, like, okay, what, number one, understand the funds, how they work. Number two, what underlying, like, do you trust? What underlying are you able to hold? Also, what underlying works best for the strategy? But the best time to buy any fund is when the underlying really is at a discount, especially if it's a bullish strategy. So, and when is that? Don't ask me. I'm not good at timing the markets. I suck at that. Clearly, I suck at that. You've seen that on the Roddy. All right. Grumpy being nice, saying good morning. Nikki's happy there's another girl here. It's usually a sausage party. No problem. You got to ask the coach to do some wrestling impressions. I see you over there. So make sure he does that. I want to see his impressions. If he even knows them, I don't know. So far, that is my experience with Granite shares. SPY. Bob, just make a tiny position. Dollar cost average. If you go to heavy, yep, good advice. Bob Johnson, 1979. Does that mean you're older than me? Good, not by much though. Don't worry. All right, let's see. If you buy too much up front, yeah, exactly. See, everyone's on the same page here. Buy one, right? Buy one and you wait. No financial advice, of course. Yes, the best time to buy is when everything is red. Everyone is all doom and gloom. Yes, exactly. I mean, that goes with anything, of course. But with these, you're not really as worried about the downside, though, right? Because they protect the downside. And in fact, they perform better on the downside than a lot of other funds because they buy a put. They buy that beautiful put. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't that put beautiful? Best time to buy is when you can. Yep. All right, so we are almost an hour in. We have 1,206 people watching on both YouTube and X combined. Again, I understand most of them are from X, so thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here live. Let's do a Bitcoin check again. Let's see what's going on. Looks like it dropped a little. No, it's staying the same about. All right, so nothing too exciting there to report, but hey, it's going to be probably a green day. I was hoping for, I'm going to be honest, a little more red because I want to add to one of my, I want to start a position on the Qs, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Any other questions before we wrap it up, wrap it in? Let me begin. Or should we pull up this cool ticker? You stop it, it stops, right? You put it over, it stops, stop. So I guess this just has all their tickers, which this is a cool idea. This is the coolest thing. I'm sure it's not easier for like a programmer to do that, but I got to make a website at some point. Although, what the hell would I put on it? Right? My YouTube videos? I don't know. Anyway, what else? Anything else, guys and gals? What about where's that? Was it Jill McKee? Any questions? Questions for you? Since you're a newbie. Grumpy likes the Granite website because it wakes you up, right? Wake and bake, 420. All right. What else? Keyword Green Friday. And brothers, like, just get this over with. Just get to the keyword already. Just yip yapping. Go Bears or go Eagles? Well, definitely not the Eagles. So anyone but the Eagles. How about that? So I guess we could say Bears. As always, guys and gals, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, come back when? Tomorrow. Come back tomorrow or next week. Again, I do weekly updates on the YieldBoost funds. But yeah, I'm curious to see how these DTE trades, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, perform now. Again, assuming this is the norm, assuming every fund can do it, that's going to make things interesting. That's for sure. But we shall see. You know, you guys in this corny, we didn't say Green Friday is the key word, by the way. All right. We got to come up with something a little more creative. All right. That's a lazy keyword. We're not lazy here. We're awake. Most of us are off work, probably. Most of us are probably hungover on food, alcohol, or both, right? So we still got to think of a better keyword. All right. So before that, you got to hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, you hit the thumbs up. If you're on X, you hit the heart. Also, if you're on X, if you hit repost, restream it, it goes out and it posts to your X account. And then other people say, oh my God, look at this awesome video. Let me click it. Right. And then they see how awesome it is. And then they come join the party. See how simple that is? Word of mouth. All right. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. How about keyword Eagles suck? Want to do that? Or will I get with people mad at me? Anyone else hate the Eagles? Let me take a sip of coffee. What else? Turkey hangover. That's a little lame-o too, though. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. It's good to know. It comes out decent. Oh, Grumpy Toad agrees. I like it. I like it. I just need one person to agree, right? And then I'm going with it. All right. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the key word, because we're Giants fans here, so we hate the Eagles, and Eagles play today, and hopefully they lose. So that being said, the keyword for today is Eagles suck. Salt Life doesn't think so, but we do. Eagles suck. I know they're much better than the Giants, but still, they still suck. All right. Anyway, that's the keyword. So whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on X, you got to type that in as the keyword, and that way we know you made it to the end of the video. All right. Sound good? Good enough. All right. I'm out of here. I just want to say thank you all for watching on X and YouTube, for the live people, and then the people watching after, of course, thank you to you as well. But you still got to type in the comments, Eagles suck. All right. I'm out of here. Got to get to the gym, hopefully. But I hope everyone has a good day. Black Friday. Buy stocks, not junk. All right. This is the day to buy stocks at, I'm not going to say discount because I don't see any discounts yet. But yeah, save your money, invest, right? Don't buy stupid stuff. All right. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Later.